Okay, so let's just go over quickly how to use the spreadsheet from your mobile app. So first and foremost, you want to make sure you have Dropbox as well as the Excel, the Microsoft Excel mobile app downloaded on your phone. All right. From the Microsoft Excel app, you are going to want to link your Dropbox account. So when you go into Microsoft Excel from your phone, you go to cloud storage or storage. There's a tab there, and under Dropbox, or I think there's like an optional link. Uh, but you go in, you sign into your Dropbox through the mobile Excel app, and from there you can access any of your Excel files that you have on Dropbox through the Excel app, and it would automatically save them. All right, anyways, let's get to it. So I'm using this for my desktop. It's going to look a little bit different from your phone, but most of the functions are going to be the same. So the basics setup is going to be the same as it normally would be from the paper sheet. As you can see under mode, we just have whether you're doing straight sets, supersets, or any specialized protocols such as drop sets or anything. In the muscles movement column, you'd have your general muscle group being worked. Not too important for you to pay attention to, although it is relevant. Um, and the order, you just have an alphanumerical ordering of things. If it's D1 and D2, it means these are paired together. Same with E1 and E2. Um, and under the exercise column, you have the name of your exercise. Pretty straightforward. Sets, obviously. Rest and tempo are less relevant these days, and I don't include them as much, but they're still there. Under the intensity column, I typically would use the RPE scale. Some people use 1 rep max percentage, but this would be 8 to 9 on the RPE scale. And that is a indicator of how relatively intense or how far from muscular failure your set should be. Reps we have here, you have your ranges. For your sake, it's going to be 5 to 8 on your main exercises, and then your assistance exercises will be specific protocols. Some of them you have 10 to 15, some of them you have 8 to 15. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, we have this accomplished area, and this is where you're going to be spending most of your time. This is a 6-week program, so we have week 1 here, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, all the way up to week 6. So there'll be a bit of scrolling in the mobile app. When you go here into the accomplished area, you'll have a couple of columns. All right, so now these columns, there's a top column and there's a top row and a bottom row. And the top row you can change between weight and set. I put these laid out for you because this is relatively straightforward. But if you need to modify anything, you can always change. You have to change weight mid-set because the weight's just getting too heavy. You can change this to weight, add another set here, and that would be one set at whatever weight, you did here, followed by 2 more sets at a different weight, right? But again, that's not necessarily what we're going to be doing today. So um, let's just say we were squatting 185 pounds. You'd scroll down to 185 pounds. And in this sheet, we'd want circular references to be opened. Not that this even matters in the mobile app, but for the desktop app, it just does a timestamp. Anyways, you put in your weight for 185 pounds, and let's just say your first set you got for 5 reps. You put set 5 reps under the set column, and let's just say you did 2 more sets of 5. All right, what you're gonna notice, and actually you won't see this in the mobile app. When you open it up on the desktop, you're gonna get a total volume. This is defined as the weight multiplied by the total number of reps. So basically, this is a formula using Excel macro that sums up these 5 sets into a total of 15, 5 plus 5 plus 5, and multiplies that by 185. Interestingly enough, it's a cool one because if you then say drop the weight to 165 pounds, and just happen to do 2 more sets of 5 reps, what it's then going to do is sum up 185 times 15, and it'll multiply that and sum it together with 165 times 10. So then it'll do a total calculation, and that's actually a very useful function. The total volume function is helpful because it when tracking recovery, it can help you get a little bit more of a specific parameter of how much volume you can truly recover from, right? So over here that you have the set count and the rep count column. The set count column was already filled up because I predetermined the sets in the accomplished column. Then you have the rep count, and the rep count is another important column here. So let's just say then you did your bench press and you did 105 pounds for 3 sets of 5 reps, and you'll notice that now the rep count column populates, right? So we're not going to go through all the exercises, but I'm just going to show you how this works. So you have 2 different charts now. And again, these charts are actually, a lot of this data is more helpful when you open this from the desktop app. So the mobile Excel app is great because you can record from the mobile app. But a lot of the better data analysis functions really can only be accessed via the Excel desktop app. Because this uses pivot charts and pivot tables with slicers, you're going to want to have Excel 2007 or later. So let's open up this chart. Now this is a pivot chart, and this records total volume, reps, and sets per workout day. So this is divided by days. Now, in order to update the chart, you're going to go into Analyze and click Refresh. It doesn't automatically refresh for now. So when I clicked on Refresh, we have week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, and then in the columns we have some of the muscle groups you're working there, right? And what you're seeing is now that you have the total volume column has been populated for hip dominant and upper push, which isn't quite showing, but well, that's all right. We'll get past that. And then we have total reps showing up here, and total sets shown down here, right? This is total sets. This is total reps. This is, and the chart, the column shows total volume. When we go to the next chart, we have the sum of total volume, total sets, and total reps on a weekly basis as opposed to breaking it down to a daily basis. As you can see, there's a bit of an error here with some of the displays on which muscle groups get shown. I'm sure that's because the chart can get overpopulated if you fill it up too much, but that will be fixed. But anyways, here we have all the muscle groups worked within a given week, and what we have is our total volume column, our total reps column, and our total sets column being populated. Or I guess this would be more of a line graph. But this is going to give you a detailed analysis of the volume that you're working within different muscle groups. Now, when we go back to this chart, one of the better functions here is the slicers. Now, this is having a bit of an issue with the display function, as you can clearly see, but I think a way that we can clear that up is just by using the slicers themselves, and which is better for visualizing the data, to be quite honest anyway. So if we click on upper push, what we're going to find is now only upper push populates, and you're going to see upper push on a day-to-day volume basis. And as you can see, when you try to display all the muscle groups, they don't all populate. But the reason this day-to-day volume sets and reps trackers is so crucial is because of the slicers here, in that every muscle group has a recovery curve. So let's just say we did a very intensive upper push workout on Monday, and then decided on day 2, be it Wednesday or whatever, we did a light recovery workout And then day 3 decide to do another heavy volume upper push workout, and you found that that was working very well for you, or that wasn't working very well for you, we can see the trends in the volume over time, and with some qualitative measures figuring out what you can recover well from and what you can't. So now we can do the same thing. If we go, let's just say we looked at our upper push, we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now we go to the quad dominant piece of it, and now we can hold a magnifying glass up basically to the amount of volume you're doing on the quads, or on movements that are heavily using the quads, and we can ask ourselves, are you recovering well from that volume, or are you not? And then how do we have to modify this? Do we need more volume? Do we need less volume? And in this, we can optimize the training process to be more specific to you. Now, when we go to the weekly charts, the slicers act on both charts, so you'll see the same thing on the weekly charts. You really, the value of this is that, again, you can see the recovery. It's easier when using the slicers because I'm guessing that, as with most of this, it's hard for the chart to populate all the muscle groups on the chart at one time, just because there's so much data. All right, so going back here, I'm just going to delete all that. This is how you would fill out your sheet, and then you would, anytime you want to update it, just click refresh. The charts can only be updated from the desktop, but the sheet itself can be updated from the mobile app. And that is how you use the spreadsheet. Any questions, please let me know.